All right, I got a little bit different presentation for you today. With the Ebola coming back out, and we also have a number of diseases that are re-entering our country after we've eliminated them. And we all know where it's coming from. We've got this illegal immigration stuff that's happening. They're not screening the people. They're not making sure that they're inoculated, and they're just releasing them right into the country. Again, we have some major corruption that's driving this. So I wanted to update a previous video where I had shown just some basic first aid type things, and let's now move towards, let's say we had somebody in our family potential Ebola exposure or whatever, and let's talk about it. So last time I talked about just getting a big old first aid kit. You need something that's portable in case you're traveling. I usually bring ours with us if we're going a significant distance, and if we have to evacuate our house or anything, bring this with you. Um, there's other things that I have purchased, and this is something you get at Home Depot or Costco or Sam's Club. I think I actually got this from Sam's Club. This is a fantastic first aid kit, and I supplemented it with some fairly small curved needles that I could use for suturing, and I use fishing line, braided fishing line, real small gauge fishing line. So that's some of the things I have. We also have larger containers of like Tylenol. We have antacids, things like that that would go with this as well. The next thing you got to have is not just flimsy garbage bags. Get the contractor cleanup garbage bags. These are much thicker, and it's going to be safer for handling bodily fluids and stuff, contaminated towels, whatever. So you need these, and get quite a few of them. They're pricier, but you're going to want protection when you're disposing of this. The next thing are nitro gloves, and I picked these up from Home Depot, but the cheapest place I found was Harbor Freight. And I typically use the nitro because they're also pretty much chemical resistant as well. And then for Ebola type contact, whether these work or not, I don't know, but they're readily available. So you can get these at Home Depot. And there's two of them in here, hood and boots for, I think they were, say, $15. So $7.50 a piece. And I've got several bags of these. And then I still got more disposable shoe guards because those are most likely to get the most contaminated. And then the next thing, there's several different levels of this, but just get some. I got a package of these. Let me see how many's in here. I'm not even sure. Oh, 20. Got to go to the front. There's 20 of these in here, and I don't know, they might have been $1 a piece. And then a face shield, Harbor Freight. Goggles, Harbor Freight. If you want to step up a notch, you can get these respirators. They're probably not meant for bio type stuff, but they're better than just the paper things, and you can get different cartridges for this. And then duct tape. Then you also need to get bleach. Now I recommend, there's actually some that's for, oh boy, I can't think of what it is right now, but don't get the cheap stuff like for washing. You want heavy duty stuff for this. In fact, we may even go with the outdoor bleach for cleanup and everything we're doing. And then you need a dispenser of some kind. So I recommend like a pump sprayer and or the spray bottles. You can buy a pack of these at Home Depot, a whole bunch of them, and those are really handy. So then the last thing is some duct tape. You may have to like duct tape your sleeves and your shoes. And that's not really the last thing. If we end up with an Ebola outbreak, you do not want to bring Ebola into your house. So I recommend you get an outside tent and you set that up, and that's your quarantine area. Do not bring it into your house because we don't know if this is ever going to go airborne. You don't want it circulating throughout your house because your house becomes a dead zone. So get yourself a good sized tent that you can set up out in the yard. And unfortunately, if it's in the middle of summer, that's too bad. 60% kill rate with Ebola. And there's other diseases out there that are pretty bad as well. So if we get into something where we got to quarantine, do not bring it in your house. Isolate. Just like with my animals, one gets sick, I have to isolate. And so you're going to have to do the same thing with people. And, you know, you're going to have to prepare yourself. If half of us are going to die, half of us are going to die. But you have to make decisions for the living. So that's kind of the way it is. There's no easy ways around this. Hospitals are going to be overrun. You're not going to be hauling people to the hospital, and you might as well burn your car if somebody has Ebola and got in your car. You're not going to be able to neutralize it. So you're going to have to think differently. This is a horrible disease. I mean, people bleed out of every pore of their body, and so you got to be prepared. You're probably going to need to stock a bunch of extra cheap sheets, and you're going to have to get, like we have an air mattress, that you'll put in that tent, maybe a cot, something that can be easily sanitized. So there's a lot of things to think about, but I would recommend an exterior or shed or something that you can make into we actually have a really nice wooden shed out there that I could conceivably put a fan in there or something and make it a little better than a tent. But you gotta have to be careful, because whatever you use is probably got to be just thrown away when it's done or burned or whatever. So a lot to think about. All right, well, I hope you're thinking along the same lines. This is something that try to get the stuff now because it's available. When it really starts hitting, you're not going to be able to find this stuff. This is readily available right now. I just picked up duplicates of this just so that I could see, what the pricing was right now. So let me read off what I have here. All right, so wood screws, nitrile disposable gloves. They were $14.98, and it's a pack of 100, so that's 50 uses each. Shoe covers, $10. Hood and boot, they're $13.47 a piece. Let's see, multi-use duct tape, $5.97. Some of this other stuff I bought a long time ago, so I can't really tell you, but you can go on to Harbor Freight's website. These sprayers are maybe $20. I mean, you know what bleach is in the store. These bottles, I bet you can get 6 of these spray bottles for probably less than $10. And I don't remember what this was, but these bags are probably about 50 cents a piece. So if you buy 50 of them, it's probably at least $20 for that box. And I use them for all my rental properties when we're cleaning up and everything. They work great. It's very hard to tear those. Okay, so that's what I've got. I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's treating you well. Think about this. This is cheap insurance. Put it on the shelf. Put it near your first aid kit and be prepared. All right, God bless. Love you all.